before we get into this episode, there's something that might be of interest that I wanted to tell you about. Scene and Herd, who run this podcast, have been asked by Scotland Food and Drink to undertake a strategic review of the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards. Now, these Excellence Awards have been going for almost 20 years and are a huge mainstay of the food and drink sector. But it's time to ensure that they're still relevant. So if you have ever been involved in the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards, or even if you've ever had an opinion about them, we would love for you, please, to complete our survey. So if you go to the OnFARM Twitter, which is at @on_farm UK, and click the link in the bio, there will be a tab in there that will take you to the survey, and it should only take you a very short while to complete, but we would be enormously grateful.
Welcome to this week's OnFARM. It's great to have you with us. This is Dave Howard, and this episode, I'm afraid to say, was recorded in the pouring rain, sheltering in a shed at Lochbuie Croft in Newtonmore. Now, if that name sounds familiar, that's possibly because our two guests this week have recently starred in BBC Scotland's This Farming Life. It's just one of the ways that life's been quite busy for them both in recent years, as we'll hear coming up. This episode is supported by Bell Ingram, so thanks very much to them. Let's get into the chat. Well, it's going to be a fairly wet and wild edition of OnFARM, this one, but we're going to persevere and push through. Yeah. I'll just get you two to introduce yourselves first of all. Tell us your kind of names and where we are.
I'm Robert Mackenzie, and we're down in Newtonmore on Lochbuie Croft, which we've been here, our family's been here for around just over 200 years. So we've been crofting here for that long. I'm my fourth generation. I've just taken over about 5 years ago. So yeah, it's all new to me, this farming and crofting life. So
really complete. So
well, it's I obviously grew up around it, but it's something I wasn't expecting to do until about 4 or 5 years ago, and then the opportunity arose. So I thought I'd give it a go. I was in construction to start off with, and then this came up, and I thought, well, I'll give it a go and see how we go with it. So yeah, but it's all very new. When I was helping my dad, I was just kind of getting told to stand at a gate, or we're moving the cows or moving the sheep from here to there. I didn't really look into what was going on in the whole place, because it wasn't something I was going to be doing. I was more concentrating on what I was doing, but I would always come help my dad or help the family or needing to do stuff. So
you were never doing that with a view to it being yours at some point soon, yeah? Yeah,
no, I never thought we'd be doing it. So it's just something I didn't do. So when I did take it on, I thought I could do this. It'd be fine. But once a couple of years in, like the first year, my dad was helping me and kept me writing things and everything like that. And then I kind of started to do things myself. And my dad was like, "It's time to get on with it yourself now." It was
the training wheels are off.
Yeah, the training wheels. It was a shock. So it's taken me a few years, but I'm starting to get on top of things now and trying and learning. Actually taking things the direction I want to take it and do different things. So it's been a very big learning curve. So yeah.
Okay, well, we'll talk more about that. That's Robert introduced, and a quick hello. Who else have we got here?
So I'm Jenni MacDonell. I'm Robert's partner. I grew up in Crofton, farming, country, family. So this
he's brought the right support worker in then.
Yeah, we both know what it entails. So we've been together 5 years now. It'll be, and yeah, I am the one, as everyone likes to call me, the alpaca lady in the village. I'm the one that introduced the alpacas into the croft. That's kind of my side of it, if you would. So that's kind of, yeah, everyone calls me the crazy alpaca lady. So
crazy alpaca lady. That is not very nice.
Well, I think they mean it nice. When I go in the co-op, they're like, "Oh, you're the one with the alpacas," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And then my friends just call me the group chat names are crazy alpaca lady. So I'll take it. There's worse things you could be called.
That's good for getting us started, actually, because we are sheltering from the rain in your big shed here. You can probably hear the rain beating down on the corrugated roof. But as I look outside, I can see some quite wet alpacas up on the hillside. There's some donkeys nearby as well. Robert, what have you got here altogether? What is it you're working with?
We, my side of it, I've got...
Very careful.
Yeah, I've got... I don't like to step on Jenny's toes, so my side of it is I've got 40 beef cattle and I have 600 odd breeding sheep, so for lamb, and yeah, that's my side of it. So, and I've got so I've got cross sheep, like Texel cross sheep, and then I've also got sheep for the hill, black-faced sheep. I've got a couple hundred of them in the hill, which I'm trying to build up at the moment. My dad used to have over 600 in the hill, and he took them off as he was getting older. He took them off because he wasn't able to do it. So I'm trying to build them back up in the hill, because you put them out the hill in the summertime for 6 weeks, you don't see them, and that's it, they're away, and then you take them back in, do what you need to do to them, get them clipped or whatever, then we put them back out again. So they're actually quite easy maintenance. And then the lowland sheep, you've got to go around every day and check them every day. So they're a bit more hard work, but they make a wee bit more money as well. So yeah, we've got a wee mixture of things, and then Jenny's got her side of it. So I think she's got more animals than me at the moment.
Oh, I will do in time. I'll get there.
Anyway.
So Robert's getting by, Jenny's aiming for world domination. Is that how this works?
The first thing, actually, when myself and Robert started dating, I was obsessed with pygmy goats, and I was never allowed a pygmy goat, and he actually bought me a toy pygmy goat to kind of keep me happy. He thought that was quite funny. And
I bet that went down well.
oh, it did. I was like, that's cool. And it was actually, it was called Gary the goat, actually. Mm-hmm. And then a year and a half ago, so April 2022, we bought our first 4 alpacas to start alpaca trekking with, and then that Christmas I finally got 3 pygmy goats. One is called Gary, and then what came next? The donkeys came in February, our 2 miniature donkeys, Hamish and Haggis, and then I got 2 more alpacas in April, which, when you say it like that, it happened in quite quick succession, but we started off with just 4 because this was obviously so new to us. You know, diversification was so new and we didn't know if it would work, so we were like, well, we'll get 4. See, if it doesn't work out, we can just sell them on, it'll be fine. And as you can tell by all those animals I've listed off, that has not been the case. It's gone very, very well, and we're hoping for more animals. Robert can't say an awful lot because he also says, should we get some of these or should we get some more? So as much as he pretends that he is not, I strong-arming into all this, he actually thinks of things to get as well. He quite enjoys it as long as I look after them.
Robert, what do you think of that? You're secretly happy about all the alpacas.
Yeah, I mean, to start off with, it was kind of, I didn't know how it was all going to go.
It was different.
And different, but no, they're fine. And Jenny's very good. I mean, she's very good at looking after everything. So it's as long as she's doing her bit with them, I don't mind what comes. It's a good thing to try and, as Jenny says, we're trying to diversify to keep the place going the way we want it to go. So, yeah, it's fine, and they're all quite fun actually. To be quite honest with you, they're probably more fun than the cows and the sheep. So, yeah. And
you talked about having upland sheep that go up on the hill. Is there an area around here with kind of shared grazing rights that you've got access to?
Yeah, so there's 4 on the estate we croft in. On the hill, there's 4 different crofts, and they've got all their own amount of sheep they're allowed on the hill. So we've all got a number of sheep we're allowed on our part of the hill. And our part of the hill is about 4,500 acres to 5,000 acres. I can't remember exactly what it is. And we all share that on the hill for all year round. So all 4 crofters put sheep up on the hill. So we all gather together and we sort them out and do our own thing with them. Then they all go back out again. So the crofters all kind of work together, doing that kind of stuff here. So yeah.
I don't know whether you can hear this, but the rain is not beating down on the corrugated iron roof anymore. I wonder if we could just sort of step out and have a look around. There's a couple of ducks wandering by as well.
They are wild ducks. There's a duck pond in the village. We don't have ducks, but they...
You don't claim the ducks?
No, they know there's food. You know, they know this is a farm yard, so they know where the food is.
Yeah. Robert, without wanting to, I suppose, pry too much, you looked a bit shell-shocked when you said you took over the croft sort of unexpectedly 5 years ago. What was the story there?
It was just the opportunity came up, so I thought I'd give it a go, because I was in construction. I was building roads and doing drains, big sewer drains and things like that. And I wasn't getting, I don't think it would have went much higher, so I was down holes, digging holes and, working my body, and I thought, well, I'm doing this for someone else, and then the croft came up. The opportunity of taking over this came up. So I thought, well, I'm going to be doing the same kind of work, but I'm going to be doing it for myself instead of doing it for someone else. As I say, the first year was fine because Dad was there and he was kind of guiding me through it and getting on with it and things like that. So I was, yes, I can do this. But then when Dad kind of stepped away and said, you need to get on with yourself, that's when the shock kind of hit. Like the first lambing was fine, Dad was there and he kind of keeping me right things. Then my dad says, I'm just going to do the wee sheep. He does the blackies, so I had the big sheep to do and I had to get on with myself. So it was quite a shock to just be, actually I need to figure out how to do this myself. So I'm not going to have Dad here telling me what to do now. So the second year, he just took a step back and he did his own sheep. As I say, he looked after the blackies and just got on with them. And I went down and did the big cross sheep. And yeah, I just took Dad every couple of days. I took him down because he could obviously see things I can't see because he's been in it for so long. He came down, every few days just to make sure everything was right and things like that. But it was a shock. Just the second year was a big shock where I had to kind of pull my finger out and actually get on with it properly. And I kind of understood that. Oh, actually, this is mine now. This is not somebody telling me what to do. I need to get on with it, kind of thing, Yeah.
What are some examples of some sort of key moments where you really had to step up and, get over those hurdles?
Oh God, now you're asking. Calving was a big thing. When I had, the first year my dad, if there was a cow calving, he would come down and he kind of guide me through it. So the first cow I had to kind of get on with myself because my dad wasn't here. He's got his own stuff he likes to do now. So I can't phone him, I couldn't phone him. He's just like, no, you need to get on with yourself. So the first cow I had to kind of get on and calve myself was quite a shock. That was a big right, I need to get on with this. And then even at lambing and calving time was the big shocks. The rest of it I could kind of get on with because I can drive a tractor. So, I can take in bales and things like that. That was easy. It's the calving and lambing time. And understanding, I lost a calf because I didn't think the cow was calving. And she was away and she was back and she was pointing about. And it's something I didn't notice that I didn't, but. And then I took the cow in and the calf was dead. So that was a big shock, and I was like, all right, okay, I need to be a bit more quicker and understand what's going on with the cows and read them a bit more. So that was the first time that happened. It was the last time it's happened. That was the second year I was in it, and from that point on, I was very, very. I had to learn how to read the cows and learn what's the signs that they're actually going to need help. But then not go jumping in too quickly and helping too quickly. So you've got to, just that kind of stuff I had to learn was it's been hard going, but I'm getting there now, I think. I'm getting there now.
A steep learning curve.
Yeah, very quickly. You have to be very quick at it. So.
But you've made quite a shrewd decision, not getting an employee, but getting a partner who knows crofting.
I know.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that was good business sense.
Here. Maybe that's what this is about. Maybe I'm just free labour.
I don't know about that.
Not free, no.
You're definitely not free.
No. And only sometimes labour, he says. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's sort of your version of that story then? Over the last sort of 4 years or so, the kind of learning curve, the getting to the point where.
Our families knew each other quite well, but I was actually in Edinburgh studying animal science at the time when we first started dating, if you will, and. The thing, both of us knew about it, but not actually us just doing it, if that basically just what Robert said there. We kind of knew, but we were used to people telling us what to do. I mean, Robert still tells me what to do. I'm not going to stand here and say that I calve cows or I do anything like that because we've got our little boy Donnie as well. So he's only 2.5. So for me to be doing that just doesn't really work. So Robert does all that and I help when needed. I get the phone call, but we are sometimes both of us are like, oh, what happens? What do we do? But sometimes we do call your dad if we're really, really stuck, but we try and you're pretty good at it now, actually.
Dad's always there for help.
He likes to be called every now and again, doesn't he?
Just not too often, I get the impression.
He's 75 now, so he's getting to the stage he just wants to do his own thing. he likes to have bits and pieces to do on the croft, but he likes to be involved as well. You have to kind of tell him what's happening still, or he might get a bit grumpy.
But I
He
suppose
doesn't
that was
know
his
exactly what's
whole,
going on. But he built the place up to what it is. So the actual crofts were actually 3 crofts that were in the family, and he got all 3 together. And he's taken it a step further, and he got he rented more ground and things like that. So he's taken it further on. So he built it to what it was, and we were just kind of trying to keep it going the way it was.
Yeah, that's absolutely what we're doing.
Well, not the way it was. Sorry, trying to keep it going with the same amount of stock and cattle and things like that.
Put our own stamp on it, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a steep learning curve, 0 to 60 in quite a quick amount of time. You decided to make lives even harder for yourselves by inviting film crews onto the farm as well. A health and safety nightmare, I'm absolutely sure of it.
It took a little while. It was, I wouldn't say it, maybe it was a nightmare the first kind of couple of weeks, and then probably within 2 months we were so used to them. Like Emma and Alison, our film crew, like I would kind of class them as like friends by the end of it. Like they got into the swing of what we needed. The thing about them is, I think everyone, and they won't mind me saying this, they do kind of get in the way, and they do make everything take a little bit longer. So the first couple of times of filming, we didn't realise that, and we were quite, like, oh, and then they just got in, we got used to it. We like, right, they're coming, so let's put 4 hours instead of 2 hours for this, and they got used to it as well, I think, in the end. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope Robert did too. It was very good. It was great fun.
We should back up a bit and just explain that you were both, the whole family, featured on the most recent series of BBC Scotland's This Farming Life, right? So, yeah, did you enjoy it, Robert?
Yeah.
You have to say yes, really, don't you?
Took a bit of persuasion to start off with, but yeah, it was good fun. It was an experience we will never get again. So it was you had a film crew following you about for a whole year of your life. It was good fun. It was good fun in the end. If things were if we needed them to get out of the way, they would just get out of the way. For moving cattle or something was going wrong, and said, "Look, just give us a minute." It was fantastic just to be. And then you would go and have a chat to them after once things got right again. You would go and have a chat to them afterwards and see what had been happening and things like that. So, yeah, it was very good, and it was nice we're enjoying watching it.
Yeah.
To start off with, I was very nervous to start off with, but once we'd seen it, because you're listening to yourself, and you don't listen to yourself. No. But once you figure out that, well, actually everybody else knows what I sound like, you're fine, So it's it's fine. It was very good. It was a great experience, and everybody, it was good fun. It was good fun. Just took a bit of persuasion for me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a step into the unknown, but that was not the first one of those you've done lately, yeah?
Yeah, it's been one thing after another. We don't really settle, do we?
No, we really don't actually, do we?
We kind of throw ourselves into things. I've always kind of said, if you're not taking chances and getting on with things, and not pushing yourself or making yourself uncomfortable, you're not pushing yourself to a place that you could end up in a really good place, So I think that's one of the reasons we tried it.
And I've read that part of the reason for deciding to invite This Farming Life in or onto the farm was to help promote the alpaca diversification. How is that going? I presume people are coming here to kind of pet them and take them for walks and that sort of stuff. Is that right? Is that how it's working?
Yeah, so what we do, or what I do, or we do for the alpacas is I offer treks, which is taking them for walks, and I also do meet and greet sessions for all ages, but mainly for younger kids that aren't able to go out on a walk and stuff. So that's, meeting the pygmy goats, feeding them, meeting the alpacas, feeding them, and then we go see the donkeys and the same. I also have just started doing miniature donkey walks, which is not riding them because they're so small, but taking them out for walks as well. So we've got so many other things in the pipeline as well, but that is basically what we do here at the moment. And yeah, This Farming Life, the decision to do that was to promote the alpaca business, which it's very hard to say if it's worked right now or not. I know there's a lot more visitors on our website and social media, but it is now November, so It's not the best time of year. We are a tourist kind of area, so our business does rely more on tourists than like if you were, say, near a city, you would get footfall all the time. So I think I'll probably see it that more in the holidays, so October holidays and back into summer, to see if that's actually worked as such, because people, aren't going to just come all the way here for an hour, 2 hours, are they? So hopefully, I mean, as I said, social media and our website we've seen a massive increase, which is great, isn't it? We're like, great, that's worked. That's what we wanted to do it for. So hopefully, long may it continue. That is the hope.
It's converting that into footfall and pounds and pence, isn't it? I just want to ask a sort of a daft question that I know a lot of listeners might know the answer to, but some people might be sort of, this might be a grey area for some people. To all intents and purposes, to me, this doesn't look like a croft. It looks like a farm. And I've heard a croft before described as a parcel of land surrounded by legislation. I don't know whether that would be your view. How is this a croft rather than a farm?
Well, it's a bigger croft than normal, because my dad, as I say, it was 3 crofts, which is now one big croft. So it was my 2 uncles and my grandfather. Sorry, my two great uncles and my grandfather had the crofts here. And then, as my dad was growing up, my 2 uncles, he got my 2 uncles' crofts, and then he took over my granddad's croft as well. And to start off with, it was actually my granddad had a dairy here, and he had I think there was a piggery here too.
Because he had a butcher's in the village.
Yeah, and then he had a butcher's as well in the village. My grandfather. So he. My auntie took over the butchers, and my dad took over the croft, and he took all 3 crofts, which means it went from having about each croft had about 200 sheep or so were allowed on the hill, so that then became 600 sheep all in. So it just became a bigger croft, and then my dad had opportunity when the estate owner, he kind of gave up farming. And my dad got on really well with him, and the estate owner came to him and said, "Look, would you like to rent the land?" So that's just how we've grown from a bit bigger than the croft that we are. But we would say farm now, because you're a wee bit bigger, but we're technically a croft.
So you're kind of governed by the crofting legislation.
Yeah, because we're a croft. We're first and foremost, we're a croft. We've just expanded into doing renting land. Other crofts maybe don't rent. They have their croft and then they do something else. What we've done is have a croft and then gone, well, let's go bigger and try and rent
croft.
land. Yeah, have another croft. So that's why it looks a wee bit bigger than a normal croft.
That's why I forgive people if they say farm, and sometimes we just say farm to certain people because it's easier. Because exactly as you say, if you think a croft, you do think they're not all smaller areas, but that's what you think. And yeah, as Robert's just explained, that is kind of our story on paper, and for all the governing bodies, we are a croft and we follow all that legislation. But to the eye, you would think farm.
And some people might not realise that there's a difference between the 2 words as well. It's very good. And look, I can see some blue sky now.
Yes, it's good to see.
So you've talked a lot about the last 4 years and how you've, taken things over in a bumpy ride and just getting things a bit smoother now. We've seen the alpacas here and the diversification projects that you've got underway. What do the next 4 years look like? What are you going to be doing next? You say you don't stand still.
We don't. We tend to kind of...
We always do something to keep us busy all the time.
Yeah, I think the next couple of years, at least the next 2 years, we're just kind of trying to level off. Mm-hmm. This year's actually...
Calm down just a bit.
Yeah, just a bit. We've said we're going to kind of keep things a wee bit calmer. We also, we did the farming life thing, which was great fun. And we've kind of, obviously we've expanded into alpacas, but I'm trying to now kind of streamline the place and just get everything, try and save money in different places, because everything went so high, and so one of the main things which comes over in this farming life is that the cows and the fertiliser and the feed and everything we did was just getting so expensive, that we were very, very close to thinking about the cows going, because it was just...
We couldn't afford to keep them with all our outgoings for fuel and feed
it was just,
and fertiliser.
And I could always keep the sheep because the sheep are easier to kind of look after. If I've got something wrong in the field with a cow, it takes me the best part of... Well, where they get summered, I've then got to get all the gates and a farm cut behind them cut. So it could take me a whole day, or at least a whole morning, to go and get one cow in, or one calf in, to get it fixed. And that's the cows are a very big hold in the place. But if you go out in the morning, before if we got rid of the cows and just kept the sheep, I go out in the morning, if there's a sheep or something wrong with a sheep, it takes me 2 minutes to catch. Take it in, I jog it, put it in a shed, and I come back after work. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to streamline everything so we could keep the cows. Mm-hmm. So our main thing is, like this year, we... it's not on this farming life, but we decided...
Oh, an exclusive, we'll take this.
Yeah.
What's not on this farming life?
We decided that we would go and buy our own silage stuff, which is our own baler, our own wrapper, and our own mower, because I work with a wee estate, and I organise all his stuff. I thought, well, wait a minute, I could actually... And these people are coming in to get their baling done, they were getting paid for it, and I thought, well... Hang on a minute, I could be getting paid for this. I could get my own stuff done by myself. I'm not paying somebody else to do it. So we bought our own stuff this summer, and it's worked really well because we've picked up some work in different places. We've done all our own stuff. We've got a very good friend in the estate that we work with, Croft on. The shepherd next door, he comes and gives me a hand, and I go and give him a hand with stuff, which has been really good. So, yeah, there's just all these things, like we've got a GPS system for the tractor because I can't drive in a straight line in a field, so I waste fertiliser. So we've done this, and I was spending, it was about £1,500 a year on somebody coming to do my own fertiliser. Well, I've spent £1,800 on a GPS system last year. I got a wee bit of work outside of this, so it's paid for it, and now... Instead of taking 2 days to do it, it takes me 4 days by myself. But I'm doing it myself. It's a wee bit more hard work. Mm-hmm. But in the end, we save money. So I think our next 2 years is just little things like that, where we're saving money instead of spending money on things. I think that's our kind of goal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is that saying you've got to spend money to make money, and we did have to spend money, obviously, on the alpacas and obviously all the equipment, but this is what we are trying to now just get money coming back in to kind of get all these things going and working well, basically. Just we'll obviously have to put little bits of money out for the alpaca business, as to we have to do a little bit to keep it going, and same with this side, you're always having to fix things, pay for that, but yeah, we're not big purchases now, I don't think we're thinking of, are we? Hopefully. Well, I mean, saying that, in 6 months' time, we're quite we just things happen, don't they?
I think our goal over the next couple of years is just to
calm down a bit.
Yeah, and just kind of just streamline things, and I don't think we're going to be doing any. Well, don't say never. No. don't say never.
Yeah, let's
don't
not
say never.
That's why I said
things pop into our head, and we end up going.
What if? ...
Yeah, exactly that. Die.
Like if someone was to phone me up and say, "Oh, look, I've got a such and such animal. Do you want it?" I don't turn that down. I'll be like, "Of course, give me." I mean, that's what it was. The donkeys was actually a very random purchase. I was looking for alpacas. Well, there was a woman selling different alpacas, and she also was selling miniature donkeys. So I emailed her, but miniature donkeys are quite hard to find, and they sold within hours. And I'd got it. The time it took for her to email me back, which was all of 2 hours, I'd got a business plan put together of what I could do with donkeys and what all we needed, and I got Robert on board, and then I had to scour the whole of the UK looking for miniature donkeys, and so it's just random things, but it's worked, it's worked for our business. That's the whole thing. We're not just buying random things like the mooring and GPS. There's always a reason behind it. It's to make us a bit money, hopefully. That's the plan.
Save us money, and it's not necessarily, the donkeys are there to make money, but the GPS system and the baler and things like that is to actually save us money.
Yeah,
because you're
work
not
smarter, not harder. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You're not spending money on somebody else coming to do your job while you're sitting in the house.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you for chatting to us today. Best of luck with it all. It's been really nice to meet you all. I'm really pleased the rain stopped, so we can just at least look around at what we're looking at. What? Just before we finish, now the clouds have lifted a bit. There's a hill behind the farm there as well. When you talk about the upland, that's where you send them, is it?
Yeah, so our hills are just straight up here. One of the hills is, I think it's a Monroe, isn't it, the Kaya?
Don't ask me.
I'm pretty sure the Mackay is a Monroe. Yeah, so we've got 4,000 acres just above us here, just above the alpacas here, where you can see. That's where we croft, so, and it's, yeah. The hill you're seeing over the other side, that's part of the neighbouring estate. But we're just straight up behind us here.
It's a lovely spot, guys.
Yeah.
No, we're very lucky, aren't we? We do. It's absolutely
something we don't know is
here.
how because we see it every day. Like people come up, and when they're walking the alpacas, we walk the alpacas. Look, we're down low here where we are. When they walk the alpacas, they actually go up, and then they see all the hills behind us, and then they can see right down to the Cairngorms as well. So the walk is quite special in a way. Is that you're down, you don't see as much, but as you kind of climb the hill to walk them, it just opens up and you can see a lot more of how beautiful the place actually is, which we don't notice, and we should notice more and we should appreciate it more, but we keep telling everybody that. But
it's just one of those things when you live somewhere, isn't it? You don't appreciate it because you're so used to it and you're in a routine. You're not used to it, are you?
And actually, I would suggest that's a benefit of having lots of visitors and tourists come to the farm. They open your eyes to that?
Yeah, you do.
I find that all the time, so we start off down here and then we kind of go out the gate and we go up there, and as you said, you're a bit more elevated. It's not a steep, it's just a slight, ever so slight incline, and all of a sudden it just opens up if it's a nice day. And every single person, not every single person, at least one person or at least the group are always like, oh, it's stunning here. And that makes me appreciate it more because, as you say, when other people point it out to you, you're like, yeah, it really is.
yeah,
It really, really is.
I know you're on a bit of a deadline this morning as well, aren't you? So we talked about the future, the more immediate future. You've got a very important sports tournament coming up.
Yeah, my oldest boy, Marcus, he plays for his primary school, his Cairngorm primary school. So Shinty, yeah. So he's got the Cairngorm sixes today. So I'm taking him away through that. So that'll be an interesting
Once the rain
day.
holds off, it'll be a nice day.
Yeah, hopefully the rain holds off.
I know, yeah, Shinty's quite a very big thing in this area, which I'm sure most people are aware of. But we live in Newtonmore, and he plays for Cairngorm, and Newtonmore and Cairngorm have quite a big rivalry. So his granda, we have to tell him we're supporting Marcus, not the team. You're supporting your grandson. So, but no, Shinty's a very big thing here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he absolutely loves it. So fingers
Marcus
crossed that the rain stays off for that.
He can't get enough of the Shinty, so.
No.
Yep. So I'm going to wait through to take him through that for the day. So crofting stops today for the next 4 hours.
It only stops for the kids. That's the only time it stops for the kids.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time to speak, especially as I know you've got so much on today. Brilliant to talk to you. Thanks very much.
No, thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
That's been good.
Well, huge thanks to Jenni and Robert. It's been brilliant to speak to them today. Look them up online. They're on Facebook as Cairngorm Alpaca Trekking Lochbuie Croft. Thanks to Bell Ingram again for supporting this episode of OnFARM. The series is made by our team at Scene&HerdPR and Marketing. See you soon.